Legion Tactical Cutlery.
Hold the line!
Hey everyone, how you guys doing? Grug's here, Legion Tactical Cutlery. Welcome back once again, troops, Legionnaires, and any new recruits. Now, before I get started, I just want to say I hope you all had a great Father's Day with your family. All right, troops, attention. Before we get started, this is a channel that tests out knives. And we're going to be doing some stuff that's going to make people cringe. So if you're interested, stick around. Today we're going to be looking at the Eafengrow EF159 Kukri in AUS-10 steel. Man, I am excited to test this one out. I picked out a nice piece of wood. Let's put it to the test. What's everybody carrying today? Well, I'm figuring with such a big blade like this, you want to carry a companion. So I decided to carry my for sale right here. I think this would be perfect with this Kukri. What are you all carrying? Veterans, active military, as always, I just want to say thank you very much for your service. Enjoy the video. Excited. Okay, let's go over quick specs. Overall length, 14.3 inch blade length, 8.8 inch blade steel, AUS-10. Blade thickness, 6 millimeters. Blade hardness, 59 to 61 HRC. Blade width, 2.4 inch. Handle length, 5.5 inch. Handle thickness, 0.79 inch. Handle material, black G10. It also does come in a green. Knife weight, 21.5 ounces. Pretty hefty. And with the sheath, it bumps itself up to 26.8 ounce. And it features full Tang lanyard hole, Kydex sheath, and TecLok. Close-up of this crazy blade. Now, listen, I do have a Legion premiere on this where it'll show you more details. So go check out that video if you have a chance. But real quick, you could see it's definitely a nice Kukri shape. It is mid-saber. It's got that nice curvy full Tang goodness. It's got this little ramp over here. It doesn't have a sharpening choil. Man, I would have rather seen a sharpening choil that could also act as a finger choil. I could have done without this. It's still going to be okay. I've got some gloves, some cut-resistant gloves, and I'm going to be choking up over here doing the finer work. The handle is pretty comfortable. You got some nice, good grips. In my Legion Premiere, though, I do mention that this is a little blocky, and I might be experiencing some hot spots. However, you can see there are the red G10 liners. Lanyard hole, I did add this lanyard. It's got this little bird's beakish area, so I'm kind of curious to see if that's going to cause a hot spot by the pinky area. Good news. A couple of people have said that they have this knife and they've used it and they have not experienced what I am thinking I'm going to be experiencing. So that's really good news. You know, I appreciate the feedback, guys. Keep it coming, the feedback. I always appreciate it. But yeah, man, I mean, it's just a massive blade, and you know, I guess the best way to review this is to test it out. Let's take a look at this sheath as always. All right, these sheaths, man, they're just so well done. This is a nice Kydex sheath. This does not have a thumb ramp, but it has this little pinched area over here where you could definitely use your thumb to push off the knife. But a very big sheath, well done. Okay, TecLok for upright and scalp carry, you know, or take it off. Use something third party, and you can attach it to your backpack. But very nice. Let's pop the knife in right here. Okay, massive presence right there, man, massive. Retention is good. This particular one that I received, this sample, no rattle. I'm done talking, man. We got to put this to the test, and I got myself a decent size log. We're going to cut right about here. So this way I'll have a piece for the feather sticks, and this I'll have a piece for batoning for horizontal and vertical testing. So let's get started. I'm going to try this without gloves first because I am personally concerned about how blocky this area is, and I have a feeling I might get a hot spot here on the handle. You know, also blisters. So no gloves first. As soon as I start feeling some kind of hot spots, if I think so, I'll put on the gloves. But you know, I do appreciate the subscribers letting me know that they have the same knife, and they said they felt very comfortable with the handle. Let's give it a go. So another reason why I picked this piece of wood right here is it's nice and far away from my hand, so I don't have to worry about it. You know, so let me start with the awkward side first. Now it's going to be kind of hard to use the whole blade here because it is a kukri, right? It's got a major recurve. I'll try, you know, I'm going to try. It's kind of awkward, but doable. All right, so good. I could still try. That seems to be digging in just as well. All right, so. Oh, beautiful, man. You gotta love a good kukri. You know, the momentum with that belly right here in the front, it's beautiful. You know, it'll just dig right in. You don't have to go hard, just, you know, just a nice, easy swing. So for the handle, yeah, I'm noticing right away. You can see it's getting a little red. I have to, you know, subscriber Jorge Fernandez mentioned that take some very light grit, sandpaper, and sand this down. I'm gonna have to take his advice. But again, you know, this is a channel to test out knives. I wanted to see how it was gonna feel like. So I more than likely will be putting on the gloves just for comfort's sake. She's biting in deep, man. I'm not even chopping hard, you know. Try to rear this blade over here. When I noticed that while I'm hitting towards the rear of this blade, I could really feel this bird's beak on my pinky. So be aware of that. But no doubt that the sweet spot is right up here in the front of the belly, and there's that discoloration. So I am choking up a little bit further up the handle. There's going to be some background noise, unfortunately. Nothing I could do about it. They're building over here. I think they're cutting pavement tile, so nothing I can do about that. If you hear it, you know, I apologize. If you don't hear it, then the mic is doing its job. Now you can see it's sticking in. And I do have my lanyard on, just for safety. This is a perfect tool for you to take instead of an axe. You know, dual purpose tool, knife, chopper, and then maybe take a saw with you. Like I said, a small companion knife. Perfect. Definitely a hard piece of wood. Yeah, for me, you know, to the Eafengrow reps, if it was the same side over here, just a hump instead of these curves, man, oh, this would have been, you know, real good. But so far, you know, these handles are working out, man. Okay, let's start on this side now. Try and do the rear of the blade a bit, okay, for you. You can see now in the camera that I am chopping towards the rear in that recurve area. Whew. All doing the job, all doing the job. Almost through, troops. Okay, let's do it this way. I'll tell you what, I'll take this over anything Nepal or India any day. Now, I know there's some good ones out there. Don't get me wrong, but I got burned on a few Indian and Nepali kukris. If you're going to get a kukri from Nepal or India, man, make sure you do your research and make sure that the warranty is clear, okay? It's a nice hard piece of wood. It's no joke. Ooh. Let's try the back of that blade again. Okay, you can see towards the rear of the recurve. Back up to the front. I guess, you know, all in all, even though I feel a little hot spot, it's not too bad. So it's definitely doable without gloves for sure. We're almost through, man. All right, there we go, man. And now, while I have you on camera, let's take a look at that edge, both the front and the rear. All right, looking good. Let me just take this off in front of you, okay? And let's quickly test out some wood here, all right? So this is the dried kiln stuff that I purchased at the store, very hard. And this is some wood that I've made feather sticks from previous tests. Let's look. Okay, that's making curls in the rear, making curls in the front. All right, I know they're small, but it's just an example that she's still sharp. And now the real hard stuff, let's see. All right, so from the rear, or that recurve, we're making curls, and then from that front area, very awkward to make feathers, you know, but obviously you would do it from back here. Push came to shove. Somebody had your companion knife with you, your folder, whatever. All right, you would use the recurve to make the nice feathers here. But I think this did a fantastic job. And let's move on, man. Let's move forward. Awesome. Let's do some vertical baton. You can see that's a nice thick piece right there. Let's do it. So I'm going in the midway point of the Kukri. Let's see how she does, okay? And you know what, man? The handle is not bad at all because I didn't feel like I needed to put on the gloves. So for now, I'll just keep the gloves off. Damn. I hope that didn't shift too badly, but you know, while this is in camera, let me pick up that other piece. All right, here's the second piece, and let me just make sure that I'm centered over here. I think I'm looking good. Okay, good. Edge looks good to me. Let's keep going. And this time I'm using the rear where the recurve is, okay? Because I want to make sure that that gets, you know, use. All right, so wicked piece of wood. You can see all the curls and stuff. I'm just going to make quarters here. One more. I'll use the front part of the blade this time. I think this is going to be a good camp tool, hiking tool, you know. Again, not a far hike like Appalachian Trail hike, but 2, 3, 4 miles in maybe. You know, if you're you know, real man who can carry something like this, right? Maybe for the weekend, you know what I mean? So far, so good. There you go, making those some nice little curls here. And let's do the front part of the blade. I know that they're falling off. But so far, so good. I mean, this type of knife begs for a companion, begs. I'm sure some of you, you know, can manipulate and master the art of feather sticks, bushcraft with a kukri, I'm sure, but okay. So while I have this all on camera, what I'm gonna do is put this down, save it for later. And we're gonna take this piece now. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna baton through this. All right, and then we're gonna make feather sticks out of this one right here. So let's, I think we're still rolling, so let's get started. Okay, that came out. Let's see. Get as close as possible without going out of focus. AUS-10 steel. Taking beating like that. Good, right? So those subscribers that told me that they had no issue with the handle, I have to agree with them, man. You know, I definitely thought I was going to need gloves, but I don't. I don't. Just wanted to make this a little wider for everybody. And you can see I even went deeper. All right, so this is such a pain in the butt. I know it's an awkward piece, but I got to get it off now. Okay, got it loosened up. Okay, let's see. Let me center this a little more. All right, just want to make sure everybody sees that. And nice and easy. Once again, let's take a look together. All right. Let's see here. So now, see how I wish I had a choil? Okay. And that's where I've been batoning. All right, there you go, man. Not the greatest curls, but look, you know, still sharp, right? Let's keep going. Okay, that's nice and deep. There's a good baton. Okay, good. I'm always worried about this thing flinging back at me, you know? But see if I can show you. Okay, look how nice and deep that went. All right. And once again, I don't know, man, that edge looks good to me, man. You know, so far, Eafengrow has come through with their heat treat, which is very good news, you know? And for the price that they're selling these blades for, man, sorry, man, you can't go wrong. Just can't. You just cannot go wrong with these knives. So if you're on a budget, you're hardworking, and you can't afford the American-made stuff or European stuff, you have another alternative. If you guys want to go out into the woods, have fun, etc. You know, but if you're looking collector piece and stuff like that, yeah, man, save up, do what you got to do. Or in the meantime, purchase yourself one of these knives and then save up. At least you have something, you know? Got this thing in the way, but, you know, I'm just trying to show people, if this is what you got in the field, you know, and this is all you have to use, you want to make feather sticks out of this, you make do. This is definitely a hard piece right here. See if I can go back a little more. Perfect. So I'm giving this blade some serious abuse right now. It'll probably be a long video, but I want to show people this knife's capabilities. Like I said already, a couple of people have purchased this and have told me that it's awesome. But it's, you know, until you test yourself, you know, until you see for yourself how this thing is going to work, or whatever knife that you're looking for is going to work, you know, I'm going to have to just keep going here. My baton has not got the weight that it used to have anymore. Oh yeah, this is going to be a long video. But, as always, with these knives made from China, I got a point to prove to people out there, you know? And we are getting through. Let me see if I can get through now all the way. Make sure that you guys can see. Let's do this. Okay. All right. Awesome. Awesome. Sorry again, sorry about the noise. Let's see this edge. All right. Looking good. While I have you on camera. Okay. Some nice little curls right here for you. Yeah, see how nice and thin that is? Okay. Good. Let me grab the hard stuff now. This is that kiln dried wood. Again, where I did the batoning. I'm making the curls, man. Try this side. Got to choke up a bit. Not as, okay, hold on a second, let me try from here. I have to put on a pair of the cut resistant gloves. 1 second, man, because I'm not getting the leverage that I want. Okay. Okay. Let's see now. Oh, much better hold on this. All right. Fuck it. If this is cut resistant, I'm going to go up this close and do what I got to do here. Shout out to my daughter-in-law for getting me these gloves. Listen, it's making the curls. I just can't get them to do it. There we go. All right. I'll go back to this. Just make sure I'm not fooling myself here. Yeah, okay. Good. All right. I'm still good with this, man. There you go. See that? See those little curls right there? Still sharp, man. Still sharp. You're just going to have to take my word for it, guys and gals. Anyway, let's move on, man. Still a killer knife. Okay, let's make some feather sticks. And you know what I should have done? I should have put this in and did some pull curls. That's what I should have done. So let's cut these up into small, fine pieces, and I will do that. That's what I should have done. When you think about it, man. In any case, I'm going to utilize the whole blade. Okay, and I'm going to go through that knot. Sure, I'm in the center here. Ow, I just hit my finger. Okay, it's a gnarly piece of wood, man. See that edge? Looking good. Let's just keep going here. Thicker piece. Once again, I'm going to go through the knot using the whole blade. Definitely a challenging piece of wood, man. Jeez. All right. See if I can make these even smaller. Hold on a second, troops. I would do this off camera, then people will accuse me of sharpening the knife off camera. So I got to change a little bit how I do things. Okay, unfortunately, so. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to go back to what I was doing. I'm just doing this for a few knives to prove that I'm not, lying to anybody. But then I'm going right back. Oh, by the way, here, look at that, right through that knot. Look at that. Right through that knot. All right, we're looking good. Okay, all right. So now, I know those other pieces are on the floor, but I got a couple pieces here. Little gnarly pieces. See if I can get them down the feather stick. The whole point was to show the horizontal tongue. Let me just put these on the side. Let me finish this up. I would have liked to have done this on the for the end of the video, but fuck it. So again, using the whole blade. Jesus, this wood is insane. Okay, all right. So just an example. Now this is what I want to try. Okay. I have this right here. Well, let's see now. The area where I hit. Okay. Let's do individual curls first. This is probably a good way to do it. You don't want to break out your small little knife. All right, just want to show everybody that with that right angle, you can make some nice fine curls here. Now, I'm not saying you got to do this. Go down here. I'm not saying you got to do this perfectly, but all right, so that's this species of wood. Hold on a second. This is what I should have done the last time. I'll leave that kiln dried wood for later. Here's another species. This is definitely a better way to show you an example of some feather sticks here. Not perfect, but the whole point is to show you the edge. All right. So this is the other species of wood that I use for testing. Now let's try the kiln dried wood. This stuff is fucking hard. So it's a good test. But you can see it's making, you get the right angle with this hard stuff. And you can make individual curls, feather sticks. Good, it's a good test, man. This is good. I'm kind of glad that I got this wood. Now you can see it is making the curls. All right. I'm using that area that I batoned with. Just seems with this wood, this kiln dried wood, once you break that top layer, it gets easier. But this is my point to you guys. Okay, look, still pretty sharp. All right, good. That's fine for me, man. I hope it's good enough for you guys. So, you know what? It's going to be a long video. I'm going right to the camp tasks. Okay, you can see I got various materials, some maybe from a construction site, campsite. This is construction site, more camp, and this is like, I don't know what it's called, but it's coming off the palm trees. This thing is hard as hell, man. So I'm gonna chop it and see what it does, but very, very hard stuff. I figured it'll be a good test. I'll leave this on the side for now. So synthetic twine right over here. I kind of twisted it up a little bit. So I just want to show you where I was batoning up here in the front. Okay, and I will do it for the rear area. Well, let's see. So I'm going to double up a little bit on this. Okay, 3 strands right there. Okay, there we go. Oh, sorry, troops. I didn't get that last one. They're kind of short, so just give me a second. Set this up. All right, we're good to go here. Okay. This is some plastic mesh tie material. They're tying up, trees. It's real strange over here in this complex. I'm sure it's all over Florida too, but the trees are, every time I see a tree tied down with this stuff, it's got no roots. And every time there's a ton of wind, they fall. It's weird. Okay, so front part, easy. Recurve part, easy, okay? That's done. Let's see if I can try and do this. Front part. Rear part. Okay, good. Now we got this heavy duty stuff right here. These are on pallets. See if I can safely do this in the front part. And by the way, that is kind of tough for leverage, but my scales have come loose. You know what? Let me do this. Okay, good. And let me see for the rear part. Obviously, you would do it where the recurve is, right? You know what I mean? So we're looking good there. And I guess if you really wanted to, you could do a chop, right? You just chop this stuff. That worked. Let's do a little push cut here. All right. And okay. And let me see if I can give you an example up here. All right, so it cuts good enough for me. And now that I have this cord over here, let's do it again up here in the front area. Okay. Push cuts. Okay, done. And now that I have enough, all right, good to go. And if you wanted to do a little chopping, okay, good to go. All right, just throw that down on the floor. Now I have paracord. Yeah, I didn't test out the paracord yet. Perfect. Let's do a little chop right there, nice and clean. Get that out of the way. Gonna have to pick that up. Sorry about that. Damn. And then the rear of the blade. Okay. Beautiful. Let me just pick that other stuff up while this is in the camera. All right. Well, let's see now. Let's see now. So you can see that's still making little tiny curls over here with the fat wood. Just giving you different examples of how the knife can be utilized. I don't know if you can see if it's making those curls. I'll probably do a big close-up on this so you get the idea, but you can make a bunch of curls with this. Nice little pile. Spine work now. Spine. It sure does feel sure does feel rounded off. So I'm kind of, I didn't get feedback from subscribers who have this. I don't know if they do this or not. Maybe by the jimping area. Let's see, by the jimping area. Okay, by the jimping area, yeah. Okay, I'm getting fluff by the jimping area. Okay, so that's good. Now by the spine, see how it's rounded off now by the jimping area. By the spine, not getting anything. However, the good news is that the jimping area seems to be doing the job. If you need to make a little fluff with fat wood. Okay, but you can still make these nice little curls over here. Let me move this over. We're going to test out the ferro rod here. Kind of miss doing my Legion light ups, man, you know, but being on an HOA, it kind of sucks because there's so many limitations here, like many governments. It's kind of ridiculous, man, but in any case, I digress. So actually, you know what? Let me, kind of curious to see if this jimping will make fluff over here from the wood before we move on. Not very good. Not very good on this wood. And definitely nothing on the spine here. So, but at least with the fat wood, you know that it'll do it. It's gonna need some kind of, you know, sharpening of the edge for sure, man, for sure. But at least with the fat wood, I was able to utilize the jimping. Huh. I know this is kind of awkward, but again, it's always a push comes to shove thing. Nah, that choil is it's okay. All right, so, and you can see my screw is loose. I didn't screw it in yet. So let's test out the ferro rod. Man, it's starting to get hot. Whoa, I don't want to start a fire. Hold on, let me do it this way. All right, so with the jimping area, seems to be good. With the spine area, it's too rounded off. It's too rounded off. Let me just try this choil. Not choil, but this guard area. Nah, not too good. Okay. I like to try different things. I want to know what my tool is capable of, you know, so that's why I try different things. But good news is that the jimping area will take care of business, man. All right, good. You know, I still maintain, I recommend that you carry something smaller for the finer stuff, or, you know, if you're really talented, you can sharpen this up. I kind of wish that the grind line, the secondary bevel, was higher cut. I think it would have been better. However, I think it did pretty good. Its main purpose is to chop, man. It's to do some chopping, camp tasks for sure. It's still biting my nail. That edge looks good. I'll just show you one last time. All right, we're good to go, man. I like this knife. You know, as a chopper, instead of an axe, this is a go right here, man. You know, I was starting to set up for the conclusion of the video, and I completely forgot all about this thing right here, man. So, I mean, that's some hard stuff. So what I wanted to do was chop it. Okay, see if I can get some nice clean chop. So, cool. Well, let's try it this way. Hopefully I don't hurt my hand. Well, let's see this way. I was hoping to get clean through. Let me try it again. No, not clean through, but it's doing the job. And I don't know how many Floridians know if this is hard or not, but this is hard, man. So good stuff. Good stuff. Now, while I was starting to, it's making the curls still. That's good. I wonder if this stuff burns. It's from a palm tree. It sheds. Sheds, falls down to the ground. I figure, let me use this, man. I don't know, can you make feather sticks out of this thing? And literally, burn it? I don't know, but again, I don't care what you use, as long as it burns, and you use your knife the way you want to make it, make the fire easier for you. You go right ahead, man. So pretty solid stuff. Not bad, not bad. I was hoping to, let's see, one more time, one more chop. Damn, this stuff is hard. Okay, I'm satisfied. Now let me conclude. Killer Kukri, troops, killer. It definitely did the job. The edge held its own. The blade is straight as an arrow. And as you can see in front of you, it did quite a bit of work, more for the camp area rather than bushcrafting, in my opinion. If you're going to take this bushcrafting, you definitely want to take something a little bit smaller. And I think something like this is perfect addition, or a pocket folder or what have you. It still did the job. The curls, chopping was at its best, in my opinion. But again, it could do camp tasks. It could do camp tasks if this was the only knife that you had. It'll do the job. It'll do the job. Troops, Legionnaires, new recruits, just want to say thank you very much for making it this far. I hope you did. Let me bring awareness, everybody. Hashtag 22 a day. Hashtag 22 a day no more. There are veterans and active military. Once they get out of the service, they do face a lot of challenges. Unfortunately, one of these challenges is suicide. So at the end of this video, pause on the slides, call those phone numbers, surf those websites, seek the help you all have earned and deserve. Troops, Legionnaires, new recruits, once again, thank you. At the ready, troops, hold the line until the next video. Take care.
Legionnaires!